Hey guys, today I've got a tutorial on a pretty neat sandwich effect created by J Vitamo. Be sure to go and check out both his performance of this effect and also his channel, then come straight back here and I'll show you how this trick is done. So you're going to need two identical jokers for this effect. They don't necessarily have to be identical, but it really adds to how convincing this trick is if they are identical. Once you have your jokers, you're ready to begin. So you can hand the cards out to the spectator, they can give them a shuffle, a few cuts, and then they hand them back to you and you need to get a pinky break beneath the top card, just like so. You then peel off the top joker, just like this, maintaining your break, and then the second joker you insert into the break, just like that, so you have a face down card and face up joker just above where this in jog joker is. You then need to push this joker in, and as you do that you lift it up, square it up, and then lift up at that break, so you lift up all three cards just like so. Once you've squared them up, you set them aside like this, being careful not to flash so that you have a face down card in between them. You then ask the spectator to select a card. You can do this however you want, but probably the easiest way and the most natural way would be simply to do a hand-to-hand spread, ask the spectator to point to any card they want, and then you out-jog it like so, and set it on top of the jokers, nice and square, just like that. You can have them select it in any way that you want, but they're just not allowed to see what the selection is, and you have to put it on top of the jokers right over here. So once they're nice and square, you pick them up just like this, and you need to perform a triple lift. So you can do a pinky pull down on the bottom card if you want to get a break beneath the top three cards, and then you flip over all three to perform your triple lift. In this case, the selection is the 9 of diamonds, but in fact that was the card which you initially sandwiched into the centre of those two jokers. So then you do another triple lift, flip over all three cards again, and then you say we'll sandwich that card in between the jokers. So you use your fingers from your left hand, peel out that bottom joker, and simply set it on top, just like so, nice and square. Now, as you hold the cards in straddle grip, so your index finger on top, middle finger and ring finger on the right long edge, and your little finger on the bottom short edge, you need to spread across the cards to display a face down card sandwiched in between the jokers. So you use your thumb to push the cards across, but to make sure the cards stay nice and square, you want to push into the packet, so push down like this as you push across, and that should allow the cards to stay nice and aligned like that. You do the same thing again, and the card should stay nice and square like that. And because you're holding the cards in straddle grip, you can even remove your thumb just like so, so you're not using the base of your thumb to keep the cards square. So it really looks like you do have just three cards, two jokers, and the selection. You square them up and do a pinky pull down on the bottom card and transfer it to a thumb break like so. You scoop up the pack, and as you go to set these jokers aside, you move your hand over the pack and drop off the bottom card, which will actually be their selection. So you've dropped off that card, and then you go and spread out these cards just like so to show the card is really in between the two jokers. Now you need to control the top card, which is the selection, to the bottom. So you need to get a thumb break beneath it to do the simplest way, and simply double undercut. So you take roughly half the pack from the bottom and cut it to the top. You maintain that thumb break, and then you cut at that break and do the same motion, moving that packet to the top, and the selection should now be on the bottom. You can give the cards a shuffle like this if you want, so long as you keep that card on the bottom of the pack. But you don't want to shuffle the cards too much, because it may seem a bit strange to the spectator that if the selection is over here, why are you shuffling the cards so much? So you only want to control the card to the bottom of the pack and maybe give it one shuffle. So once you've done that, you need to pick up these cards, and you say you'll take the selection and lose it somewhere into the pack. So you take it out from in between the jokers, and you can put it anywhere into the pack that the spectator wants, and then you square it up nice and fairly because the selection is already on the bottom. Now you take your two jokers and you set them onto the top of the pack like so. You need to do a pinky pull down on the bottom card, because you're going to peel off the top joker, but at the same time you're going to peel off this bottom card. So you can then transfer that to a thumb break and move your little finger to the bottom of the pack to keep it in straddle grip, just like this, if you can see. because that allows you to keep the cards nice and square when you peel off both the top and the bottom cards. So you peel them off just like this, the top and the bottom cards, and using your little finger you keep them nice and square like this, so it looks like you only have one card. You then set the rest of the pack on top, and you say now you've got one joker on the bottom and one on the top. But in fact you have a joker on the top and then a joker on the bottom, but this one is followed by the selection. So all you need to do is give the cards one single cut just like this, and then do a magical gesture, click your fingers, and then you can spread through the pack to display in the centre 2 jokers, and now miraculously sandwiching one card, which should be the selection, in this case the 9 of diamonds. So we'll go through that one more time and then that will be the tutorial done. So you need 2 jokers, preferably identical, and then you also need a pinky break beneath the top card. You peel off the top joker and set it on top. The second one you put into that break. You lift it up as you push it in, and then set the 3 cards aside as if they're just the 2 jokers. You have the spectator point to any card they want, you outjog it and you set it on top of the jokers just like this, trying to keep them as square as possible. You set the pack aside, lift up these 4 cards, which they should think are just 3, and you perform a triple lift to display, in this case, the 7 of hearts as the selection. You perform another triple lift, and then we'll sandwich the selection in between the jokers. So you peel off the bottom joker and set it on top. You hold the cards in straddle grip and you push down as you push across the top joker, the face down card, and then you keep these 2 cards square as one, just like so. You square up, get a pinky break above the bottom card and transfer it to a thumb break. You scoop up the pack, and as you go to set these jokers aside, you drop off that card beneath the break, and then you spread these cards just like this to show face down card in between the jokers. You then control the selection to the bottom, so double undercut, just like this, and if you want you can give the cards a shuffle, so long as you keep the selection on the bottom of the pack. You take the card out from in between the jokers, which the spectator should think is the selection, and you lose it somewhere into the middle of the deck. You square it up nice and fairly, just like so, and then you take your 2 jokers and set them on top of the pack. You do a pinky pull down on the bottom card, transfer that to a thumb break, and hold the cards in straddle grip with your left hand. You then peel off the top card and the bottom card at the same time, keeping them nice and square, and then set the rest of the pack on top. Give the cards a cut, click your fingers just like that, and then spread through to display the jokers in the centre of the pack, sandwiching one card, in this case the 7 of hearts.